Time for the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. From sun to rain to snow and everything in between, Continental Tire has engineered a tire for what you do. Extraordinary performance and reliability, putting confidence into driving. For more information and the location of a dealer near you, visit ContinentalTire.com. Continental Tire for what you do. The Hall of Famer, Hornets Associate Head Coach, Patrick Ewing, back on the program. How are you, Patrick?
I can't complain, Dan. You know, my passion bucket is filled these days.
Take us.
A little birdie told me the code word.
Yes, passion bucket. Take us back to 1985 with the draft. What do you remember, and what did you do after you were drafted to celebrate being the number one pick?
I just remembered. First of all, remember the lottery. The lottery was a big part of it. You know, after the lottery, I knew I was going to be the first player picked. I knew I was going to New York. I remember flying up to New York, staying. I don't even remember which hotel we stayed at, but staying in the hotel and coming over early and going over all the proceedings, and finally having my name called and walking up on the stage and shaking the commissioner's hand and holding the jersey up with the busher. And then everything was a blur from there, just all the media requests, took me to the back, all the media requests, all the interviews and all the things that we had to go through. But, I mean, it was a special night, everybody or every player or people who play the game dream about that night, finally having your name called and being one of the players to be drafted. So it was a great night.
What about the lottery itself? When you read that it was rigged so the Knicks would be able to pick you, what was your reaction?
Well, it's funny because even I hear it even today. Every time the lottery comes on, there's always somebody that talks about it. Anything is possible, but I don't see that happening. New York was definitely one of the places I wanted to go to. It wasn't my first choice at first. I wanted to go to Golden State to play with my old college teammate Eric Sleepy Floyd. Once they lost, then definitely New York was my choice. It was close to Boston. It was close to New York, D.C. Had a lot of friends in the area. So if it was rigged, it was rigged for the right reasons. New York there needs to be a strong team in the Mecca, and me being drafted by the Knicks helped that happen.
What do you think of what the Knicks did with Derrick Rose, picking him up, bringing in Jeff Hornacek, maybe moving a little further away from the triangle offense?
Horny he's a very good coach. Had the opportunity to play against him. We coached against him. He's a fine coach. He's going to do fine, be fine there. Rose, it's a little bit of a risk to see, which Rose are you going to get? Is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be the MVP? That he get back to the MVP level? Or is he going to be, banged up in and out of the lineup? If he can come back and be the Derrick Rose of old, he's definitely going to help him. I think, it's a no-brainer. What they gave up for him is something good. And, we'll have to see how he and Melo are able to coexist together.
He's Patrick Ewing. He's the Hornets Associate Head Coach. What's the best and worst thing about being on the coaching staff with Michael Jordan as your boss?
Have to listen to all the crap.
Even now,
he is a man. Even now, he's never changed. Since we've been 18, he's been the same person. Always, talking trash, picking at you. You've never beat me. All the stuff that all the things the trash that he talks when we're all together. The same thing. It's never changed. But also the best thing, the great thing about working for him is that he's played the game. He understands a lot of the things that we as coaches have to go through. And he's very, he's I'm not going to say easy on us, but he understands and he's able to give us a little bit of leeway when leeway is needed.
Is LeBron entering Michael Jordan territory?
LeBron James is a great player. He's a great player in this era, but he's not Michael Jordan. It's two different animals. Michael was a killer. He's an assassin. LeBron is more of a facilitator. He's the guy that you're gonna give the ball, and he's thinking shoot first before pass. Where Michael, you give him the ball, he's thinking he's gonna score 50 on you, and then he's gonna pass. And Michael Jordan was the best player, the greatest player in my era. There's been a lot of great players in this league, and it's hard to give one player that best ever crown. But all I can say is in my era, Michael Jordan was the best player in my era. And I haven't seen anybody else. Kobe is, I guess, came the closest to him. But LeBron is great, but he's not Michael Jordan.
Who would you want as your teammate, Jordan or LeBron?
Well, I'm greedy, too, so I want to score, too.
Mike's not throwing you the ball, Patrick.
Yeah, I know. LeBron is definitely going to pass it a lot more than Michael. But, when at the bottom line is as players, we want to win. And, when you have somebody, we always equate basketball to war, and we always talk about the foxhole, even though it's not is nothing like war. But when you have somebody in your foxhole, you want to know if they're going to have your back. And not to say that LeBron won't have your back, but I know what Michael brings to the table, and I would definitely would rather him.
Did you ever try to get Jordan to come to the Knicks?
That wasn't going to happen. No, I've never. We never. That's the thing. A lot of people talked about when LeBron went to play in Miami. About us. Why didn't we do things like that? But we always wanted to beat each other. We always wanted to dominate one another. So the fact that to talk about teaming up never came into our minds.
If you were in college now, how important or how different would your game be, or being developed to go into the NBA? Would you be different than what you were when you played at Georgetown?
I don't think I'll be any different. I probably shoot it a lot more than I did in college. Back when I played, it was more they taught you to play inside out. Where in this era, most of the players are all perimeter players. Everybody's on the perimeter. So in that respect, it might have changed a little bit. I might have scored a lot more. But in terms of all the other things that I brought to the table, I think that wouldn't change. There's still a demand for a shot block, a person to protect the rim, and I did that. There's still a demand for a dominant rebounder, and I was a dominant rebounder. So all the other things that's a part of my game, it's still there's still a need for it. The only difference is a lot more of the bigs are more perimeter oriented than back when I played.
You know how many threes you had in your career?
I think I probably had about 5.
I got you at 19 threes.
That's not bad. Not bad, but I knew where my bread was buttered though, Dan. It's funny because I tell people the story about when I was in college. We played Virginia. I was a sophomore. We played Virginia, and Ralph Sampson came down, and he took it probably was a college 3 back then. It would have been in college 3. And I came down to the other end, and I took a shot about the top of the key. Coach Thompson called timeout and cursed me out. He said, "Son, what the blank are you doing? I don't care if he shoots out there. You are staying your at blank in the post and work on your post game."
I saw this quote, speaking of Coach. He talked about you. He says he's a smart player, great leader, but you very seldom hear intelligence associated with height in the NBA or in college. Therefore, they think that people who are thinking on the floor all the time are guards. Patrick is suffering from that. Is that how much of that is hurting you? And I've talked to you about this being a head coach, and I hope you get that opportunity. But being a big man, does that hurt you in being recognized as somebody who can be a head coach?
Definitely. I think it definitely does hurt. But basketball is not rocket science. We all they talk about when people think about smarts, they always think about the point guard position, where they never really equate the center position with smarts. But the same thing that the guards are doing, we're doing the same thing on the other end. They're the floor leaders on the offensive end. We're the floor leaders on the defensive end. And even when I played, I was a floor leader on the offensive end also, because a lot of times, I'd be calling the plays out, telling the guards what plays to run. So, it is what it is. I was able to get 2 interviews this year, and I did extremely well with them. I didn't get the job, but I'm getting closer, and hopefully one day soon, I'll come on here and we'll be talking about the fact that I've got an opportunity,
good,
and how good I'm going to do at it.
And then I can rip you when you don't do well, right?
Well, I'm used to that. That's one thing I've learned. If you don't have thick skin, no matter what city you're in, and especially as a coach, because there's always going to be a Monday morning quarterback. If you don't have thick skin, you won't last.
Yeah, but what you went through as a player, I mean, you have to have thick skin just to survive. So that'll be the least of your worries when you become a head coach. Bigger trash talker, Bird or Jordan?
I think I'm gonna put them right up there, equal.
Really?
Equal.
Would Bird say stuff to you?
Oh, would he? Come on now, Larry the Legend. This man, he talked more trash. They're equal, but Larry's Michael's been talking trash since the first day I met him at 17, 18. Larry's been talking trash ever since I stepped on the court. He's always talking about how great his Boston Celtics team is. I remember Xavier McDaniels tells a story about he was playing in Seattle, and Seattle tied the score. Larry came down the court and he said to X, "I'm running right here. I'm going to run to this spot right here." He told him to play. He said, "I'm running right here to this spot, and there's nothing you can do about it." He said Larry ran to this spot, turned around, shot the ball, walked off the court. The ball hit nothing but the bottom of the net. They all talk. They're great. Larry is a great player. Michael's a great player, and they talk so much trash. But the difference is they can back it up.
Hey, Patrick, always great to talk to you, and have fun. And once again, we'll keep an eye on that opportunity for you to become a head coach in the NBA. Thanks for joining us, as always.
Thanks for having me on, Dan. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Patrick Ewing.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.